Author's note. Hi guys, hope you like this one. I'm quite proud of it. Thanks for the support from my friends. Love you girls. Glad you like it. Oh, and Vincent, you're so dumb. Of course Tia didn't go to math and only her bra. She's not a total ditz. One more time. Don't read if you didn't like it. No frickin' flames. What is the point of Flemin' Pipple? There is no point, so F off. Chapter 3. Uncle Larry. I sat alone watching TV at Dave and Marie's house. I couldn't stop thinking about my encounter with Eudard Cullen earlier that day. He was so beautiful and sexy with amazing hair and eyes. I could hardly believe he had noticed someone like me, but I was angry at how he made me feel. How I'd burnt like crimson hot flame when he touched me, and how he'd not listened to me when I told him to frig off, and how he dared to touch me at all when he had a GF anyways, even if she was a mean girl with an ugly heart and not that hot. But no matter how much I tried to hate him, I simply couldn't. Suddenly, the phone rang. Hello? Hey, is that Altantiana? Yeah, who is this? I asked. It's Mike Newton from your class. I was wondering if you wanted to go to the plush with me tomorrow night, maybe. There's a party on the beach with the whole crowd of us going, and I thought you seemed really nice, so I thought maybe you'd want to be my date, please. Aren't you the guy who hangs out with all the pathetic cheerleaders and stuff? I asked. You mean Bella and Jessica's gang? Sometimes, I guess, but they're way shallow. And not as hot as you, and maybe they could be mean sometimes. Then why do you want to? Then why do hang out white them when you could?
Have you ever had a dream that you do?
Then why do hang out white them when you shallow creep? Why are you asking me out when you hardly know me, Mike? 'Cause you think I'm hot? Why can't you see you're just as shallow? If you want to date someone, just cost them what they look like. I'm not that pretty anyways. Even if I was, I'm so screwed up in the brand. You can't even imagine. You would no want to date me if you knew how screwed up I was. I would, Tia, believe me, I would. You're so beautiful, I can't even imagine. Wait, what? You're so pretty. People lose their minds when you're around and forget their names and forget to breathe. How can't you have noticed that? I don't care how screwed up you are. It only makes you more interesting. You're cool and different, and you're honest about stuff. You're right to be angry with me. I'm sorry for being shallow and dumb. Just give me a chance to show you how much I care, please. Well, okay, maybe I'll go along if I don't have anything else to do, I said, not believing a word he said about how pretty I was. Thank you, Altantiana. Thank you so much. He sounded so happy I couldn't help but smile as I put the phone down, but my smile faded as I returned to my thoughts. Mike Newton was kinda cute and sometimes like an okay guy, but he was nothing next to Eudard Cullen, even though I was angrier with Eudard Edward than I have ever been with anyone in my life, and part of me wanted to chop his head off with a sword. A part of my soul would always remain in that corridor where we had kissed so hard and passionately. I creamed myself. My heart had soared that day like never before, and I knew that no one else would ever make me feel like that again. Then I thought about he was a cheater and a bastard, and my face burnt with shame. I couldn't believe I had behaved like such a whore. I was scared of the effect he had had on me. Bye, Tia. We'll be back on Thursday, okay? Marie put her head around the door suddenly. Okay, then, have fun, I whispered clammily. Dave and Marie were visiting relatives for a few days. You look so pretty, she says, smiling. You're the prettiest grill I've ever seen. Oh my god, whatever, I reply. I hated when people say that. I pulled my blonde hair over my face. I was wearing a short Short, hot pink dress, cut low, with black lace frills at the bottom and black lace stocking. Dave's brother Larry will be looking after you while we're gone. You'll be okay when we're gone, won't you, Tia? I hate to leaving you alone like this. I don't need a freaking babysitter, you know. I was so embarrassing. I could look after myself. Marie smiles and leaves the house. Greetings, Altantiana. My name is Uncle Larry, said Uncle Larry. He came in through the door. He was fat and bald with tiny black eyes and a red face. Hey, I said. You're the orphan, aren't you? He says. It's true you killed your mother when she gave birth to you? What? I cry, my eyes filling with tears. You're an evil bitch, aren't you? Go outside and wash my car, he shouts angrily. I stood up and left to wash his car. I got soap and a bucket, afraid of what he would do if I refused. I went outside and started to wash Hush's car. It was a red Porsche. He came outside and watched me, and I knew he was watching me. After a minute, he came over and hit me hard across the face. WTF, I shouted. He poured the bucket all over me and hit me again. I was wet and crying, and he started to rip my dress and bra of me and rip my clothes. He touched my naked breeks, and I tried to push him off me. I screamed at him to stop, but he didn't. He bent me over the bonnet of his car and spanked me on the ass for half an hour, and then he pulled my pants down and started to rape me. Stop raping me! I cried, but he didn't stop. The pain was terrible, even though his manhood was small. I cried and cried, but he didn't stop for hours. And when he finally stopped, he left me on the floor and spat on my face and left me there. I pulled on my clothes and cried madly and ran into the seething darkness of the midnight street. I ran and ran until I came to some woods, and then I fell down in the woods and cried. Suddenly, a blast of white light exploded in my head, and my mark on my hand burned like a flame. I closed my eyes and saw the face of a tall white man looking over me with no expression. His eyes were burning red, and his face glimmered cold and bright as the moon. I fell back from the brightness of his body. His hair was dark as night. Altantiana, he whispered in a voice softer than clouds. My daughter. OMG, I whispered as my mind went blank and the world went dark.